Alright guys, welcome to my top 5 Christmas films that I watch pretty much every single year in the month of December. I like all genres of Christmas films, from action to horror to just your typical Christmas movie. I think there's merit in all of them. So let's just start off with number 5, Elf. Elf is a fantastic film starring Will Ferrell as he plays a literal elf. Well, human that was raised by elves due to him crawling into Santa's bag on Christmas Eve and being taken back to the North Pole. So he was adopted by them. And in the entire premise of it, he grew up in this magical world that is the North Pole. And then now he has to go back to New York to search for his father, who just so happens to be this money hungry shyster who works in the Empire State Building, who hates Christmas. It's a hysterical film. I'm not normally a fan of Will Ferrell. I do like him in Step Brothers, but not much else. But it's funny, it's lighthearted, it's charming. You love all the characters in the movie. You love his father. You love the relationship of him kind of gaining his father's love over time, even though his father sees him as this weird outcast. It's got a lot of heart in it, and it's hysterical all the way through. I remember watching it as a kid, eating my Captain Crunch on a cold winter day as it's snowing outside, and watching Elf. I don't know why, it screams Christmas, it screams winter, it screams Saturday morning to me. So that I try to watch every year or every other year during the month of December. It's a great film. Number 4. So another comedy. Yeah, I know, 2 comedies back to back, but these two kind of go back and forth. This one I always watched with my family since I was very little. Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase is fantastic in the film. His entire family is awesome. It's this very simple premise of the in-laws and the family coming over to your house and spending too long at your house during the holidays. Oh, it's just like your typical family humor. It's very relatable. You have a young Leonard from Big Bang Theory in it, and he's great. They're all great in it. It's funny, it makes me laugh. It's stupid comedy, but it's also smart comedy at the same time. You have Elaine from Seinfeld, and the entire Neighbors stuff is hysterical.
And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I don't know, Margot.
It's so dumb. I'm thinking about it now. It's so funny. I can't wait to watch it, actually. I'm in the mood to go watch it right now. But that's not my number 4. Number 3 would probably be number 5 right now, but due to the circumstances in my life, it's 3. So every year since I think 2005 or 6 when it came out, The Polar Express, I had watched it every Christmas Eve with my family. It almost became like this mythical character like Santa Claus that I thought actually existed during Christmas. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I always thought the idea of a train coming in and taking non-believer kids to the North Pole to get them to believe was a fantastic idea. The main character never got a name, because we were supposed to put ourselves in his position. It was just a lot of fun. I always had hoped that the Polar Express would ride up my street and pick me up. So I watched that every single year with my family on New Year's Eve. And now my fiance also loves that film. She would watch that every single year for Christmas. And it's awesome. Now we watch this film together, and we're going to watch it with our kids. It's just a great film, a lot of great themes. It's one of the darker Christmas movies at times, even some horror elements. Just very, very, very little, but they're still there. But it's a good film all around. The characters are all fun and nice. I even had the railroad track with the Polar Express around the Christmas tree. My dad got it when I was little, and I remember I would play with all the characters. The sick person that I am, I would always have the little characters on top of the train fall off and get run over by the train, and the train would derail. You know, my dad wasn't happy with that. So that's my number 3. My number 2, here we go. Here is a true classic. Every single year I watch this one, especially Bob Clark's classic, Black Christmas. Not A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story is great, but it's never been one of my favorites. I enjoy it. I do probably watch it every year for Christmas because it's on TV, but Black Christmas is where it's at. It's 1974, and it's one of the first great slasher films, and it is scary to this day. From the phone calls that the sorority gets, super creepy and unnerving, the cinematography, the absolute horrific imagery from the girl who's stuck in the attic with the bag on her head. It's just genuinely creepy from beginning to end, and it's a classic I watch every single year for the past probably 8 years. It's amazing. I'm always in the mood for it. So if you are looking for a good Christmas horror and you've never seen it, you have to see it. This is, I don't know what you're doing. Watch A Christmas Story and then A Black Christmas back to back. Bob Clark is a master of Christmas movies, clearly. Let's give my honorable mention. So this one would probably be in my list, but it's very new. Violent Night. It's an awesome action film, and I loved every moment of it when I was watching it on the big screen, and I'm probably going to watch it every single year. It's just a lot of fun. David Harbour is fantastic as Santa Claus. It's basically Die Hard with Santa Claus. So you want to see him take down the bad guys. Not as good as Die Hard, but it's pretty phenomenal. So I loved every moment. It's gory, it's brutal, it's funny, it's also heartfelt, has the family themes of a Christmas film. That is definitely my honorable mention, and that will probably be in my list next year. So now my number one. This one, people will say it's not a Christmas film. It surely is, and you're like 100% wrong. I don't even care. It's not an opinion. It is a fact. Die Hard is in fact a Christmas film. No more debate on that. No more needing. Actually, let me put a little proof out there for it. The film not only takes place on Christmas, Christmas music, Christmas themes. There are family central themes of a man and a woman, married couple getting back together for the sake of their children too. Their children play an important role in events later on in the movie. The entire reason why he is at this building, not only to reconnect with his wife, but because it's for a Christmas party. Not only that, throughout the movie, we are constantly told that it is in fact Christmas, from the joke of ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun, that he writes on the sweater of a dead terrorist. So yeah, no, Christmas movie, 100%. I saw this movie back in, 2011, when I was 14 years old. And I remember my mother told me about this film, and it was on Netflix along with Die Hard 2 and 3, and she said I would like it. And I'm like, all right, sure, let's see what it's about. I looked at it, like, oh, it takes place in a skyscraper the entire time. That's really self-limiting. That's kind of lame. I play it, and it ends up being my favorite film ever made. Die Hard is a true classic. John McClane, Bruce Willis, great. Hans Gruber with Alan Rickman, fantastic. All the action is great. All the side characters are great. There's not much more you could say that hasn't already been said. It's a true classic of the genre, a true classic of the cinema, and a true classic of Christmas. So, yeah, that is my top 5 Christmas films of all time that I try to watch every single year. But yeah, that's it. You have a very Merry Christmas and a great New Year. And I'll talk to you guys next time. All right, guys? Peace.